everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judy and you are watching Running Sew and Sew on this beautiful Friday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock and the sun is out, the sky is blue, so I thought I'm going to redo my recording now, take some photos outside and then go for a dog walk before I edit. So thank you so much to everyone who's watched one of the vlogs I've done recently. I did 3 over half term. You've blown me away with your comments. I mean, you're also so kind and supportive. It's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so very much. I think I'm up to date with all my replies to your beautiful comments. And also, welcome to anyone who has recently subscribed on my new, I need to have a little diamond or something I put in, on my diamond challenge. I had to get to 6,000 subscribers before I hit 60 years of sewing in December. I'm starting to think about that, and also I'd like to thank everybody who's given me an idea of what I could do, but I'm going to throw something else out there because I had a lovely comment, and I'm in the middle of and will continue to have a wonderful exchange of ideas with Linda from Ontario, who also is coming up to her 60 years of sewing. So it got me thinking, who else out there is coming up to 60 years of sewing? I mean, you're going to be like me, you're going to have started when you were quite small, but that is something that I'm working towards. So welcome if you're new. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new again today, you're so welcome. And I'd love you to subscribe. In one of the corners, there's a little reminder. And if you're watching it on a phone or an iPad, if you just scroll up a little bit, there's a little black button underneath that says subscribe. Just hit that. And if you hit the bell, it'll tell you when I've got a video out. Housekeeping out of the way. I like that phrase, housekeeping out of the way. I've got to do some housework this weekend. Anyway, I'm sat here wearing a Linden sweater in some fabric I got from Bugweeds. I made 2 tops out of this fabric from Bugweeds, a toaster and a Linden, but I'm not here to talk about that. A few weeks ago, I shared with you an unboxing for the Beyond the Pink Door Sewscription Box number 35. Now, if you're not a subscriber to Beyond the Pink Door, all the links are in the description box below. But I've been having the box now for quite a while. I've lost count. I just enjoy getting it. It's a lovely little treat once a month. And I said when I unboxed that video that I knew what I was going to make the minute I opened the box. And I also said it would make something else as well. So, hold on 1 second. Here you go. 2 garments, 2 makes. 1 you will have seen before by Atelier Jupe, and 1 you won't have seen before. Here's the back from Sew House 7. Because today, the 1st of March, Peggy is releasing her latest pattern. So let's stop talking, let's nip outside, let's pop the top on, and let's have a little chat about it. Here we are. Are you ready for it? This is the beautiful new pattern from Sew House 7. It's the Revel Topper, and the minute I saw this fabric from Andrea, I knew this would make the Revel Topper. I'd had a lovely chat with Peggy about the Revel Topper back in the summer, and I offered to retest it for her. So when the time came to test it, when she was ready in her life, she got in touch with me and said, "Are you still ready to test this pattern?" And I said, absolutely, can't wait. And it is delightful. And you know, the one thing I really love about it is it's another hip hugger, and I am getting fall in love with these hip huggers. Since I've made this, because I made this a few weeks ago, I've made the Risac, which is a hip hugger, and I made another toaster, which is a hip hugger. It's one of those styles that I've been uncertain about. Having said that, I wouldn't mind trying it with another couple of inches on it, or just another inch. But anyhow, let me tell you, you can have the Revel Topper with 3 different sleeve options. You can have it, excuse me, this is my camera attachment. You can have just a little cap sleeve, you can have your standard grown-on sleeve, or you can have that beautiful statement kimono sleeves. Could you imagine it with kimono sleeves in a silk? It would be stunning. Neck is a beautiful folded collar. And now I'm going to just check that I've got the collar folded properly, because there you go, pull it down and it goes to a beautiful little point just here. It's stunning. Let me go behind so you can see behind. I just hope you can see behind because I'm spinning around on the spot here. Isn't it just beautiful? Well, let's try and stick with the natural lighting for as long as possible. And I'm just going to grab the pattern sleeve for the Revel Topper. So obviously the details that I've got will not be as you will see them when you buy your copy of the Revel Topper if you choose to. So these were the original draft photographs. So the Revel Topper, as I mentioned earlier, is a simple topper. And when I read it as topper, I read it as a top to go over something. But also, I can tell you now, if I just came out on the beach on a warm day, this would be just the thing I could slip on because it would certainly protect my shoulders. And if I wanted to, I could pop my collar up like so. I could put my collar up like that. What do we think? But I actually quite like it down. I really, really, really love the collar down. I've probably not laid it back down properly now, have I? You know, I might leave this in as real life. Do I need to edit this bit out? There we go. Just give myself a minute for the camera to catch up with me. There we go, we are back. So let's have a little look at these beautiful line drawings. So as I said, cap sleeve, a grown-on sleeve and a grown-on bigger kimono sleeve. Very tempted to do that. I think that would look lovely with it. Could you imagine that with a lovely pair of palazzo pants? That would be immense in a lovely, lovely silk. So let me read to you what Peggy has described the Revel Topper as, and I'm going to look up here and hopefully I won't be looking out of your way. The Revel Topper is a satisfying make that pairs perfectly with high-waisted skirts and trousers or pants, if you want to call them that. Looks great as a short top, but is also just long enough to wear with a French tuck or a tuck to a high waist bottoms. All versions feature the lovely shawl collar, a yoke-like facing, and you have a lovely, actually I haven't mentioned that, there is a lovely French dart that comes up here from the side. In fact, mine is so neatly done. She says blowing her own trumpet. Mine's so neatly done, it's just there. This is such the most versatile pattern. You could make it in a wide variety of fabrics. I wonder what it would look like if you made it in a jersey, or if you colour blocked it with various viscoses or colours, or maybe if you used plain colour around your neck. Let me just pull this out a little bit. There you go. Oh, Poppy's jumped on the windowsill. That is, we need a walk. Stop videoing and get out shortly, girls. If you made this in an Indian block print and then you had a plain collar, or you did it the other way around, lots and lots and lots of variations. It is forever versatile. And as I've just mentioned, you've got that beautiful, tiniest little bit of detail in your French dart coming up from the waist. It's absolutely stunning. But yet, with all Peggy's garments, you've got to remember, whatever you make your garment in will change the way the garment looks, whether you wish to dress it up or whether you wish to dress it down. When I put this on the first time when it was half made, I was walking around the house with a pinned and tacked garment because it felt so comfortable. Also aided by the fabric, which is one of the viscoses from a company called Made for Your Creativity. And I don't know what it is about the composition of their viscoses, but I just love the feel of those next to my skin. So obviously it's designed for a fluid fabric. So let's talk sizes, because this is a garment with a lot of ease. You need the ease to allow the garment to drape nicely over your body. You can see now I've got a pencil in my hand because I've been checking the sizes and to make certain I've got the right amount of ease, because this pattern is over 2 downloads. So you can either, you can work one size range and the second. So the sizes are 00, which is a bust of 31 inches or 79 centimetres, going up to, with ease, your finished measurement is 42 inches or 108 centimetres. So that is 11 inches of ease. That's a lot of ease. You need it because you could put a turtleneck underneath this. You could put a truly turtleneck underneath this and it would be absolutely fantastic. And it goes up to a size 34 where the bust is 61.5 inches or 156 centimetres. But the ease drops off slightly here because you've got 67 centimetres, 67 inches, 67.5 inches of ease with 171 centimetres of ease. So it's a really big size range, really inclusive, and every single element of the pattern stays the same. There's a link in the description box to the Sew House 7 website. So there you go. I love it. It's so simple, but as I say, it's a simple make. It looks a simple make. With every single make, there are details that you need to consider when you're making it. And for this, putting on the collar requires some very fine stitching and careful machine work as you come round the collar to put it on. I'm not going to go into the instructions now, but I am considering doing a sew along for it. If you'd like me to do a sew along for the Revel Topper, please just let me know in the description box below. I've got a beautiful piece of Maison Fauve fabric which I think would make a stunning Revel Topper to wear with a pair of jeans. But I've got lots of small pieces of fabric that would make it. So I also made a Frida blouse. Have a little look at the Frida blouse here. Here we are, we have the Frida blouse. I absolutely love this as a blouse. I've got it sitting just at my hips. I don't think I can zoom out. I can zoom in. I can't really zoom out any further, like so. You can see the whole blouse. I've got it blousening over. I absolutely love the way the collar spins round and just hugs your neck. So for me, this fit is absolutely beautiful. And it falls down into where the neckline falls, and you've got just the yoke feature here, which I've top stitched here, top stitched at the yoke, and top stitch across the back here. I know a lot of you enjoyed the video I did showing you how I'd done the collar. You'll be pleased to know that I have now shown you how I've put in the sleeves, and I put these sleeves in first time and I had no pucker, no catching, no nothing. And what did I do? I tacked. So let's have a look at the sleeves. So as I've just mentioned, I decided to film putting in the sleeves of my Frida blouse. So let's have a look at how I put the sleeves in. And I'm pretty certain it also includes the collar. Basically the finishing off. I didn't film myself doing the buttonholes because I thought, you don't need to see that. And I know that on my Frida blouse, and I'm going to hold my hands up now, I've got 2 buttons which I want to move. Some people would say it's fine. No, they need to move by 2 millimeters. That's all, 2 millimeters, and I will move them because I've still got the right colour fabric thread in my sewing machine, so I will move those later on today. So I am having to make certain that everything is completely out of the way. I've moved my sewing machine speed right down because I don't want the sewing machine to run away with me, and I know which guide I'm following on my sewing machine, and I am following the 1 centimetre seam allowance, and I am going to go ridiculously slowly because with the fabric having an element of bias in it, with it being a collar, so the collar is curved and the neck is curved, and this is a viscose, and as a lot of you know, I don't tend to interface. So I will tack and I won't interface. It's just going back to my sitting gills. We didn't always interface. And it depends very much on the fabric that you are using. So I'm being very careful as I go around so that the fabric does not fold back on itself, either underneath or on top. So I'm just going to check because I know that a couple of millimeters ago there was a possibility that we could have had a little gather, but we haven't. So let me straighten off the fabric. I've had a lovely morning. I'd made a complete mistake with my envie fabric, which I'm going to tell you about. I'd dried it over the corners of the era and I got bobbles in the fabric. And I was thinking, oh no, it's just not fair, and on a day when I'd planned to do sewing and cutting out. So I popped it back in the washing machine, all the bobbles disappeared, and it's currently now drying flat on the ironing board because I don't want it to happen again. Now I know there's a feel of a little bobble in here. I can't be any bobbles because of course I've tacked everything down. Collars are tricky to put on. And I am watching the fabric going through, and even now I can see that there's a possibility again that the fabric is gathering up, and that's not what we want. So it is a question of stopping, starting, checking your fabric, taking your time, and that collar will go on first time. Well, second for me, because I did put it on without using tacking the first time. All for me. It's very slow. I'm going to stop you and start you again at the end. Let's have a little look then, shall we? Oh, I thought I had a little bit caught, and I don't have a little bit caught. So the idea is that this will fold into here, but it will need trimming. And what I'm interested in is that. That is what I am interested in. Are these lined up? And the answer is yes at that end. And let's have a look at this end. And yes at this end. That line is what I'm looking at. And that's what I want to be. Now trimmed my collar underneath here. It's really a scant seam. And I've now folded it over. I've checked my ends. So here is the first end, which is absolutely perfect. And I have checked the other end as well. I haven't ironed that one, and that too is absolutely perfect. If I fold my ends one on top of the other, they should match beautifully. Which, give or take the stuff coming out the end here, they absolutely do. So I've got out my tailor's ham, and I'm just pressing forward the seam like this. And then when I press that forward, I will then tack over like so, and I will tack that seam down, but I do not stitch in the ditch round here. That is very definitely a hand sewing seam. The reason being is I don't want to see my line of stitches on the back here. So this collar will be hand finished. And as you will see, I haven't used any interfacing. It's because the fabric is lightweight and I don't want to add any unnecessary bulk or run the risk of the fabric bubbling when I've tried to sew interfacing down either on the collar facing or on the collar top. So I will come back in a minute when I am ready to do this. I've just done all of this without recording. So you need to pull the sleeve up so you've got right sides together. And you need to have it so that the sleeve is over the top of the body of the garment like so. You pin your notches and the bottom of your armhole. So that's the bottom of the sleeve to the bottom of the armhole. Match the notches, match the top, and then by simply folding, holding your garment like so, and putting the sleeve over the top, you will get that natural fall away here, where the sleeve falls into place. Now I'm going to carry on recording and I'm going to pin it in place so you can see it. I have now pinned that in. The whole sleeve has fallen into place. The other side didn't fall into place quite so easily, so I'm going to go back and have another look at it, and now I need to tack it before I sew it, and I'm going to tack it later on. I'm not going to sew it now. And this evening I shall tack that in place and slip stitch down the back of the collar, as well as doing some more of the embroidery. So there you go, one fantastic subscription box and two beautiful garments made. One tried and tested and one beautiful new pattern, which I am absolutely loving. And I do hope that you too are liking this pattern as much as I am. I can totally recommend it. It's so comfortable. In fact, I have worn it with jumpers underneath it, and I've got a base layer over there that I've taken off to do this recording, and I feel like maybe I'll slip it back on and put it back over the base layer, but I am only going dog walking. But it's not a dog walking top, but I am wearing it tomorrow because I'm going out for lunch with Hannah to her house, and my late husband's cousin and her husband are coming over for a meal because cousin Julie, as we call her, is Hannah's godmother. So we will have a lovely, lovely meal there tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching, and do leave me a comment, ask me any questions you want. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for watching. And thank you for joining me on my sewing journey. It's evolving beautifully, and the opportunities I've had since I've stepped into the world of vlogging and meeting more sewists around the country and around the world have been absolutely phenomenal. So where is 25 going to go? I don't know, but I will see you again very, very soon. I'm sorry there wasn't a video out earlier in the week, simply because I put my head down and I got on with sewing one or two other garments. I've got 2 more pattern tests in now to do. I've just finished another one. I'm up to date with my patchwork, which I don't want to show you now because I want to keep that for that vlog. So for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again very, very soon with another vlog. See you later. Bye bye.